All right, I just clicked record. Jared, so long story short, Jared, I told him about this job and whatever. He's teaching me right now how to do a service call. So a little reverse managering right now, but I'm doing my first service calls this weekend. So I asked Jared, what should I bring? And he started listing off all the things. And then I thought, there's probably other people like me who have no idea what to expect for their first service call. So that's here we are. So Jared, why don't you?
Hey, and that's exactly where I was. Like right away, I was like, what do I bring?
Who did you ask for help?
I didn't ask anyone for help.
Oh,
I winged it and I said, you know what? I'm gonna bring a 38-gallon tub with all my events kit stuff in it.
okay.
So what I brought was an ultimate set, obviously. If you don't have a full ultimate set, get the ultimate roll up. It's a lot easier to like carry. So Funk, I know you have the ultimate roll up. I
Yep.
know you wrote that down. Make sure you have all the pieces from the Siggy to the ultimate after the homemaker, especially if you're doing service calls for people that have homemakers or more. And then you want some flatware pieces, whether it's a whole chest, like I have, or if it's just the flatware roll up, the little blue roll up. You want your Ed Reed sharpener. And then if you have some cookware, bring like a 1-quart saucepan. That's what I did.
Okay.
Any like gadgets or hunting?
Whose saucepan was that?
Yours.
Okay.
Yours.
Gadgets, as many gadgets as possible.
Yeah, bring gadgets just in case they don't have any of them. You can just look back in your orders at what they purchased, and then you can actually see what they have. And that way that gives you leverage to know what to show them. And then let me see. Okay, so we got the ultimate roll up. Oh, you need your blue book. Tell them it's the catalog.
Blue book, got it.
Yep. What else is on there that I haven't listed off yet?
Shears and outdoor stuff. You said like outdoor knives.
Yep, like shears or like hunting knives if your customers hunt or anything like that.
I have one to add.
Good to just have little things on hand like that and just put them all into a backpack. When I was doing demos in person, I just had everything in like a backpack. Then I'd obviously walk with my knife block, but you probably don't need the knife block for a service call.
I'm going to use. Oh, it's at home. I have that Oakley's backpack. That's what I used to use for demos. I'll just use that.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Make sure you bring your caffeinated beverage, Brain Fuel, Funky 15. I had to. Okay. Goal thermometer was, you said.
Oh, yep. Yeah, make a goal thermometer.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yep.
Okay. What else?
Spring yourself. Be happy.
Big smile.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. No, like cutting board, food, like nothing like that.
No, they already know the knives work great.
Okay.
Now it's just a matter of selling them on the concept of what they're used for.
What about so I know behind the booth, how you can sell so many cheese knives is they have a trimmer. So you put the trimmer on a potato and then you use the cheese knife on a potato. Boom, you've sold the cheese knife. You don't do that.
No, I haven't done that. I mean, if they really want to use it, just tell them to grab some cheese or ask if they have a potato or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what to bring? Check. What's next?
Now it'd just be like what you're going to do during the service call. And once you get there, you want to build rapport, just chit chat. Obviously, if it's your past customer, it's going to be a lot easier to build a rapport because you already have the initial rapport when you sold to them initially. So it's really going to just be like catching up. And while you're doing that, you're sharpening their knives, checking them, making sure that they're all up to snuff. If any of them are like bent or broken or tips are broken or anything like that, you want to show them how to send it in and help them send it in. And if, it's a really loyal customer of yours, you can always like offer to charge your rep account for them to send it in. And then they don't have to pay for the shipping. That's always a nice thing to do. I think it's like $13 at most, like depending what it is. And then, you sharpen the knives and then you kind of transition about, I would say 3/4 of the way through with showing the knives or sharpening them. on reminding them what they're used for and stuff, into sharing your goals. So like sharing your goal thermometer and why you're actually doing it right now. So Funk, I know you have a very compelling reason why, and it's to fuel your new DM office
Mhm.
so that you can pay for SMRAs, advertising, like all of that. It's an investment yourself so that you can grow your business even more. And I think that's a great reason why. And I think that all of your customers are going to completely love that reason why. They already bought from you, they already like you, they already know you. You know, why wouldn't they help you out towards the goals that you have now, especially after seeing your success that you've had so far with this job?
So is it okay? So number one, you get there, build a little rapport, small talk, and then you boom, you start sharpening right away. While
Yeah.
you're sharpening, if anything's like too bad that you can't fix it or sharpen it, you just teach them how to send it back, offer to pay for it. And then while you're sharpening, you're taking your time to sharpen.
Yep. Make
And
sure you
then,
remind them what the knives are used for.
so while you're sharpening, you're reminding what they're used for and sharing your goals. So like some kind of mix of that.
Yep.
Okay.
And then after you share your goals, while you're still touching up the knives, you want to hand them the blue book and say, here's a catalog, just so you can look through it. And you can go one of two ways. You can go straight into like an upgrade, ask them if they've ever heard of the upgrade system that we have, if you remember.
Okay.
And then you can show them an upgrade. Or what you can do is you can just build a wish list with them. So when it comes to selling them on new pieces, you don't want to just tell them what the pieces are used for. You want to ask them specific questions. So, you know, to sell someone on a boning knife, you say, do you ever cut up raw meats or anything like that? And if they say yes, then it's like, oh, great, the boning knife, that would be a perfect knife for you. Explain what it's used for. Same thing goes for like the salmon knife, call it the thin slicer. Ask them, do they do any melons or anything like that in the summer? Great, you're going to love the thin slicer. This is what it's used for. And do the same thing with the ultimate pieces. You don't necessarily have to sell them on the cleaver. I know there's ultimate upgrades where you don't do the cleaver, but it just depends their cooking style for the upgrade.
Okay. So wait, hold up. Okay. So after goals, you're gonna, so basically while you're sharpening, it's your gateway to grab the blue book, because it's while you're building rapport. If they ask you about what's going on with you, you like take that moment to start sharing your goals with them. Well, actually, opening up my own office this spring, CUTCO's this and that, grab blue book and open to thermometer, and then paint the picture of what the goal is. And then since you're holding the blue book, you're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And you close it and then you reopen it and hand it back to them and say, this is actually our catalog. We have some spring sales if you want to just flip through.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
have-
while they're flipping through, you say, hey, by the way, have you ever heard of the upgrade program? And they're like, I don't know. And be like, oh, we could talk about that later. But for now, anything you kind of like, do you want to just throw down on here's like a wish list?
Yeah. So
or
like
what?
this isn't necessarily anything you're getting today, but just so I have this on record for the future when I am running my spring sales and stuff like that.
Okay, so then on my things to bring list, I want to bring a notebook so I can have that page for them, probably.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Wait, Funk, you disappeared on here.
What?
Morty ran across my keyboard and now I can't see you.
I can see you, but you're blue. Like your whole face blue. Well, no, it's not blue like you. I can tell you're seeing blue. Well, now you're seeing like pink or something. Can you see me?
No, like it's not even here.
Oh, you're blue again. Nope. Oh.
What is going on? Oh no.
Classic Marty. Should I pause the recording or should this just make for a good little pause in the video for people to catch up on notes?
People can catch up on notes. Can I leave and rejoin really quick? Is that going to mess up the recording?
No, I think you're fine. Leave and rejoin.
Okay. Oh, wait, here we go. I found it.
Welcome back.
Got me back.
Okay, so then have you heard of upgrades? We'll talk about that later. Here's a wish list. You're not necessarily buying these things at all. It's just what's the verbiage?
You don't necessarily have to get this stuff today, but just so I have it on record for the future when I am running sales, then I know exactly what you want.
Cool. When I'm running sales, I know exactly what you want. Okay, and then
Make sure
while they're
like while they're looking through it, make sure you take out the flatware, the cookware, explain it. Like the flatware, it's 1810 stainless. Some of the toughest stainless you can get. It's not silver, so you don't have to polish it. Blah blah blah.
okay,
Same
and
for the cookware, explain the cookware if you know how to do that.
okay, and while they're still holding the book, you're explaining stuff, anything that kind of like they're jotting it down.
Mhm.
Okay, and then what?
I guess you kind of just pick and choose then, and then once they put together like a package, you know, have them do an upgrade and then package together either cookware, flatware with it, and whatever else they pick, and do the big package first.
What's
right?
the transition from you're done sharpening, they're done making their list, and now it's like the transition of, hey, I said that you could buy this later, but do you want to see what it looks like today? Or like, what does
Yeah.
that look like?
Yeah, so I would just say, you can definitely get this in the future. I do have it on record, but I'm working really, really hard right now to do my $15,000 over the weekend. So, and then this is my reason why. So if I were to do a really good deal on this today, if I were to give you a super turbocharged deal on this package that you put together today, is there like a 1% chance you'd be interested in just seeing what it would look like?
If I could get you a really great supercharged deal?
Yep. Super turbocharged deal.
Super turbocharged deal. Is there a 1% chance you'd want to see what that looks like maybe today?
Not maybe. Is
Is
there
there
a
a
1?
1% chance you'd want to see what that looks like today?
Is there like a 1% chance you would want to see what that would look like today?
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll check it out.
Or not today. I would just say, is there a 1% chance you want to just see what that would look like?
Okay, and then I say, sure, what is it? Let me see this. What are you talking about, Jared?
And then you show them a good special on it. I wouldn't bonus all 20% right away.
Is it you show them like a one or the other type thing, like an old school like list, or you offer one deal at a time?
I would start with one deal at a time. Start big, give them a good deal on it. If they say it's too much, then you have negotiation room. You could drop down even more.
Start big, one deal at a time. Don't throw the kitchen sink, but give them a good deal, and leave yourself leeway to negotiate down.
Yep.
Okay, so then you offer the deal, you get the first objection. So let's say they hit you with whatever uncertainty, let's say they go with husband objection. So is it what's the objection cycle? Is it you're handling it in the moment, even though you told them you weren't going to sell them anything? Or is it you drop down? Like, how do you make them comfortable? Because it's not like you told them you're coming to sharpen,
Right. I guess I haven't really ran into that yet. I just have
They
one.
just buy it. They've bought it every.
I've had
What?
There was one guy who gave me the objection if he needed to talk to his wife because it was more so like his wife style
Yeah.
in the kitchen. And you always agree with them on what their objection is. And then, I went ahead and asked like, oh, is his wife like more so of this type of person? Like, is she more of like the cooking, like flatware person in the house? He was like, yes. And then I said, okay, yeah, no worries. And then is it like more so you like on the finance type of stuff? And he was like, well, yeah, we're kind of 50-50 on that. And that right there told me like he needs to talk to her, on the pricing of it. which makes sense. And then I offered the trial option on it, of course, with the 5 pay. But he still wanted to talk to her about it. So then I just dropped down, and that was an upgrade with flatware and cookware. So like to a kitchen. And then what I did is I just dropped down to just the knives. And he was like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it all. So then I just had to follow up with him, and they didn't end up getting it. But now in the future, I have it on record what they want. So when I send out my sales text and they do say they're interested, now I know what they want.
That's good. Okay, so you agree with the objection. Sometimes it can't handle it. Otherwise, they're probably just going to pull the trigger. If not, show them a smaller deal, and it's pretty.
Yeah, and
pretty
when you ask for the order on it, you'll be able to tell if they're like excited about it or not. Like whenever I would ask for the order, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. I don't do that on the service calls, because they like know me, they know my job, they know I'm probably going to ask when we put it together. So it's like, I just say, so what do you think? Do you want to just try this out today and help me out towards my goal this weekend?
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Oh, and then referrals.
Okay.
Might as well go over this for the video. I know that you're not necessarily trying to get referrals because you're not doing demos.
But if I was, and I should.
But if you were, after they get stuff, you can remind them of the referrals that they'd given you, before you go into the service call. Look at who they gave you, look and see if you did demos with them, if you keep a record of it in your queue or wherever. If you did do demos with them, let them know who you did demos with that they gave you. And then also let them know who hasn't answered yet. Ask them to send out a reminder text to them, because these could be cold leads. Like I went and saw Beth Lacey. I hadn't talked to like 5 of her people, but that was 2 years ago almost. And I had her resend the heads up text. But then what I do is I say, hey, Beth, I know you gave me those 10 before, and I really appreciate that. If you could come up with some more, I would really appreciate it. Again, we do the heads up text. At this point, they know about referrals. Like you don't have to sell them on the idea of referrals because they already gave them to you initially. So you just, rather than trying to sell them on it, offer incentives for them to give you more. So what I did is I said, Beth, if you give me 5, I'm only doing this contest for my past customers that I'm doing service calls for. So if you give me 5 new people, you get 1 name in the drawing. If you give me 10 new people, you get 2 names in the drawing. And then if you give me 15 people, you get 4 names in the drawing. And at the end of this month, I'm giving away $250 of free CUTCO to one of my past customers. And this is only through this program. It's not to my new customers or anything like that. It's just to my past customers.
Got it. So 5 people, 1 name, 10 people, 2 names, 15 people, 4 names in the drawing for $250 of free CUTCO to past customers. Nobody new is getting this, so the pool is pretty small. I mean, you're proud.
Right, the pool is small. Yeah. And then you don't have to go on your account and spend $250 unless you want the CPO. All you have to do is reach out to your manager and buy it at Third.
Yeah, reach out to me. All right, I feel good. Thanks, dude. This is really helpful, and I'm glad we click record. So,
do you have any other questions?
I think that's it. So I'm going to show up. Let me just run this through really quick. So I'm going to show up to Jesse classes tonight at 5:45. I'm going to walk in, build a little rapport. I'm going to show up with my backpack, my Oakley's backpack. And in that backpack, I'm going to have my ultimate roll up, as many gadgets as I own and can find, my flatware roll up, my cookware saucepan, shears, any outdoor stuff, my blue book with a gold thermometer in the front, my Ed Reed sharpener, a big smile on my face, and a notebook and pen. And then when I get there, I'm going to build a little rapport. I'm going to set my backpack down, sit down, pull out my sharpening kit, have her grab her knives, inspect them a little bit. If some are too bad to fix, I'm going to have her send them back. I'm going to teach them how to do that. And then I'm going to, while sharpening, start sharing my goals. To share goals, I'm going to grab my blue book, show my thermometer. Since it's out, I'm going to hand it to her. So this is the catalog. We've got some spring sales if you want to flip through and see if anything jumps out. Ask if they've heard of the upgrade program. kind of like be like, oh, we'll talk about that later. And then have her just be crafting a little wish list on the side. Tell her she's not buying it, doesn't have to buy any of that stuff today. It's just so I can have it on record for when we have a big blowout deal. And then blah, 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 get to the end, explain the flatware, cookware, explain all the package stuff, make a package deal. And then I say, where's closing? Okay, so then I say, if I could get you, say I'm working really hard this weekend to sell that 10K to hit my goal. If I could get you a super turbocharged deal on this package, is there a 1% chance you want to look at it? They say yes, of course. You show them one deal at a time. Start with the biggest deal you can make. Give a heck of a discount on it. Not like too big, but a heck of a discount. Ask if they want to get it today and help you out with your goals. And they probably will say yes. And on the off chance that they say no, you just drop down. You're not trying to like hard and handle objections. You're just making them feel comfortable and agreeing with them and then showing them something less. Got it?
Yeah. And then another thing you can add
Reps
in there,
at the end.
another thing that you can add in there before the super turbocharged deal is, let's say they put together like a big package, like they have cookware, flatware, and knives all in there. You have to explain to them, hey Alex, CUTCO, it's kind of like Costco. The more you buy, the better deal I can give you.
Fire.
So with this package deal here, if I were to give you a super turbocharged deal on it, is there like a 1% chance you'd be open to just seeing what it would look like here today? Just because it helps me out so much towards my goals.
It's fire, dude. These are people who already love CUTCO.
And you, because they already bought from you.
Yeah. And if you show up with a smile on your face too.
Mhm.
All right. Thanks, dude. That was great. Anything else for the video's sake? Or you think that's good?
I think that's good.
Glad we could record it. Hey, just so everyone knows who Jared Erickson is, you weren't listening to a stranger. He's been featured on this channel more than anybody else in the history of the channel. This is his third feature for good reason. Jared, how much CUTCO have you sold this year?
Just over 40 grand.
40 grand so far. He's what are you at in the Silver Cup race?
I think I'm like number 10, but I'm about to jump back up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got big time. He's got big time goals for this month and summer. So Jared's going to sell how much this year?
250.
21 years old. He's at 150 grand career so far. He's never done it full time until this year. Yeah, he's one of the best ever. Gonna be. You're watching this video in 5 years. I bet you know Jared Erickson because he's in the CUTCO Hall of Fame. That's why you found this video, I bet. All right. Peace out. Thanks, Jared, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. We'll see you later.